Okay. So, yeah, I'm back, and again, gonna just share a quick screencast with you as to a few of the specifics of the assignment. So, one of the specifics that I mentioned is that you need to detail out some of the background to this woman's situation, right? And you don't need to do it in a formal way. It's just you're writing a letter back. And so here's my first introduction paragraph. Let me just show again kind of where I provided background in this sentence. Right, I said, however, I didn't know that you and Greg had just broken up recently. So clearly, this woman's relationship status was in a relationship, not married, and now is single. Okay. Um, Again, in a very informal way, then the next sentence I say, once I heard that, I now realize it's a much tougher decision for you than I initially thought. And that is why, as a 21-year-old, right, it would highly affect your future. So again, I provided now more context and more background. This woman is 21 years old. Finally, I mentioned, thanks for coming to me, your cousin, for advice. Okay, so clearly this is my 21-year-old cousin who was asking me for advice. Okay, now notice the other thing that you're graded on is providing some sympathy and compassion. Okay, and so again, I do that. I say, hey, I was going to say congratulations, but then I realized that you broke up with your boyfriend, right? And that's going to change things. And then down here, I mention, I'll share my heart. I'm glad you're carefully considering your alternatives and seeking advice. Okay, so again, I'm trying to be compassionate and yet still making sure that I'm going to be presenting my feelings and my advice. All right, I'm not going to talk about the paragraphs of advice. That's pretty basic. Okay, each paragraph needs to have its own main argument or reason. Okay, so don't give me this big, huge, massive page, split it up into paragraphs. Okay. Each main idea or argument that you're going to give for either, again, abortion, adoption, or keeping the baby should be in its own paragraph. Okay. And please, again, remember there are the three options. Okay. You can give the woman advice to keep the baby. You could give her advice to put the baby up for adoption, or you could give the woman the advice to abort the baby, right? Or again to exercise her pro-choice rights, and in that regard. Okay, so how would you provide a counter argument? Well, first you would need to make sure that you provide a very very brief description of the argument that you don't like. So here I've done that. Okay, I say, um, yes, technically the law allows you to make the choice to, sorry, typo there, to abort the baby. I'll correct that. Okay, and so very clearly I provided the very, very basic argument on the pro-choice side. It's within your legal rights as a woman. But then I spend most of the rest of the time detailing out why I don't think that is really a true or good argument. Okay, and so I say that the baby is alive. It has the same rights we do. Okay, I give the argument that sure you have the choice to get an abortion, but you also have to realize that it won't rewind your life, right? You can't get rid of the fact that you were pregnant. You can't get rid of the fact that you broke up with your boyfriend. Um, and so just because it's your choice doesn't mean it gets rid of actions previous. Okay, and the fact that there are other consequences. Now, then I end my letter, though, again with compassion and sympathy. Okay, and so here I say, I will always be here to chat if you want, and please know whatever you decide, I'll always love and care for you. Okay, so again, I've taken a clear stand, right? And again, I've done so in 4 paragraphs. I've given an intro where I introduce the context. I've done a main paragraph of advice, a second paragraph of advice with a separate argument, and then I've given a counter argument that details why specifically I disagree with an argument from a different choice, right? Which was the choice of abortion that I disagreed with. Okay, hopefully this helps. Email me if you've got questions.